Thank you for tuning in to tonight's game. Your game is coming up next. But here's some information from the Indiana High School Athletic Association.
6 easy ways to become an MVP. And by MVP, we mean most valuable parent. Like all of us, the parents of high school athletes tend to protect their children from adversity, or they overly involve themselves by advocating for their success. But when they do, they're negating the value of participating in high school sports. Among other lessons, high school sports teach teenagers to take nothing for granted, how to overcome obstacles, and that an extraordinary commitment of time and effort is required in order to reach goals and experience achievement. High school sports also encourage independence and self-sufficiency, attributes that are needed to be successful in life. It's natural for parents to love their children, and it's important to support them in as many ways as possible. With this in mind, here are 6 easy ways that you can be the MVP of your child's high school team. Number 1, attend your children's games as often as possible. Nothing demonstrates interest and involvement more than being there. And be sure to invite Grandma and Grandpa to come along with you. Number 2, cheer for all the kids on the team, not just your own. Here's a test for you. Do you know all the players on your child's team? Could you say hello to them by their first name? Embracing the entire team is a great way to show that your interest is sincere. Number 3, be a resource for your child's team. Does a teammate need help with transportation? Is the team trying to raise money for new uniforms? Is someone needed to organize a pizza party before the tournament starts? Maybe you can help. Number 4, try not to criticize the coach or the officials in front of your child. Hey, you're human, and there may be times when you need to vent, but be careful when and to whom you do it. Criticizing the coaching staff undermines its credibility and tends to put your child in the middle. And games are seldom won or lost because of an official's call. Remember, coaches and officials are objective. Most parents are not. Empower your child to talk with the coach about concerns. Everybody wants more playing time, and understandably so. But encourage your children to have that conversation with their coaches instead of you doing it for them. Giving teenagers the confidence and conviction to speak up for themselves is one of the greatest benefits of participating in high school sports. Number 6, focus on the life lessons your children are learning, not on win-loss records or how many points they're scoring. According to the NC2A, only about 2% of all high school athletes win a sports scholarship, and the average value of it is less than $11,000. But every child will benefit from the lessons they've learned as a result of participating in high school sports for the rest of their lives. It's difficult being the parent of a high school athlete. There's far more emotion and social pressure involved than is ideal. But if you follow these 6 pointers, not only will your children love and respect you, but so will their teammates and coaches. And you might even be named MVP. Thank you for your support of high school athletics in Indiana. Stay tuned now. The IndianaSRN game is next. IndianaSRN, where you're always in the game.
Welcome back to game number 2 of the Lacrosse Semi-State. Hello, everybody. I'm Keith Myers, along with you tonight as we have the second semifinal game as Hamilton Southeastern, the 3rd seed, taking on the number 2 seed, Carmel Greyhounds. will meet Cathedral, as Cathedral beat Guerin Catholic with the score of 10-5 in semifinal number 1. A very competitive game throughout the game. We want to congratulate Guerin Catholic on a great season, and Cathedral continues to roll as they are the number 1 seed, looking for the winner of this game, which will have the broadcast of the championship game tomorrow evening at 6 o'clock. We'll take it up to the booth right after this. You're watching Indiana SRN, where you're always in the game.
It's a beautiful evening for lacrosse in Central Indiana. We've already completed one semifinal, and we're getting set for another. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Brebeuf Jesuit High School for the IHSLA Final Four. Alongside everyone at IndianaSRN, my name is Jonathan Mathis, and we are thrilled to have you with us. Cathedral is already to the championship, and their opponent for tomorrow's championship game, which will be right here on IndianaSRN at 6 p.m., will be one of our next two combatants. The Carmel Greyhounds are the second seed and a 4-time state champion. They've played in 7 finals in the last 8 years. Hamilton Southeastern, the Royals, are the 3 seed and the reigning state champion. They had a senior-laden team last year. They're much younger this year, but no less dangerous. In the regular season, HSC won the first meeting between these two by 1 whole point. And the bad blood, real bad blood, still lingers. So buckle up, everyone. A spot in the championship against Cathedral is on the line. And to journey with us is the 2001 state championship coach, Byron Stankus. Byron, ready for number 2?
Oh, absolutely. We had a great game and a real good game plan by Guerin last game. And Cathedral was able to turn it around. But what I think we can find here is we're going to have a lot more up-tempo game. We may not get the goal scoring because both defenses are great, both goaltenders are excellent, but we're definitely going to have a more intense game, I think.
Looking at, before we bring up these brackets, just want to let you know the weather situation, it's perfect. It's Goldilocks weather. It's still sunny. The sundown's not until 9:06, and it's 75 degrees here at face-off, and it'll be getting just a little cooler and really more comfortable as the evening progresses. The wind is slight, just a mile an hour out of the west, and the sun, we already said when the sundown is, the best news, everybody. Best news? No rain. No chances. None. It's not going to impact anything that you're going to see on this bracket popping up right about there. So Cathedral has already beaten Guerin, and that was a very interesting game, a very evenly played game. But you see the path for both of these teams. Carmel laid waste to 2 teams, Center Grove and Westfield. HSC took down Heritage Christian and Zionsville, and really that game against Zionsville came down to a dominant third quarter by the Royals.
Yeah, and I think this game, like I said, earlier was a very deliberate pace of that game. This game is going to be a lot more intense, both because both teams like to play a little bit more of an up-tempo pace, but also because both of these teams really don't like each other.
That's going to be a storyline. That's something both coaches, they reminded us of. You had the situation where head coach Jack Meacham, he's taken over Carmel, and Carmel was, as is well known, they've rarely missed a Final Four, and they've been the dominant program for so long. Hamilton Southeastern is really the upstart, and they've come up and taken the crown.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Carmel's been to, I think, maybe missed one Final Four. I can't remember exactly. But they're always here. They're a perennial power. Like you said, the upstarts, Hamilton Southeastern, with their depth and young talent and good coaching staff there. Scott Beasley's there as a head coach now in his, I believe, 3rd year and 5th year with the program. And I'm sorry, it's his 4th year as a head coach there and his 6th year with the program. And Jack Meacham is the 2nd-year head coach. So interestingly there is HSC had never beaten Carmel until Beasley came on. And And so Jack Meacham's got to have to right that ship because it's leaning towards HSE in the last couple of hit matchups.
You are watching the Morales Group pregame show, Building Better Futures one story at a time. A story we want to look out for with Carmel, Tom Sprates, a senior, two-time All-State player. He was second team in 2017. He switched to attack. He plays midfield now in 2018. Missed that one, but he's right back, first teamer this year, and he can score in bunches, 57 goals this season.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, he's an All-American. So, I mean, you're going to see that one of the interesting things that Coach Meacham has done here is he's taken some guys like Nick George and moved him to attack, and he's taken guys like Sprates and he's moved him to midfield. So he's definitely done a good job of shuffling guys around to make that work.
Something else to look out for, you see right in the middle of that midfield on your screen is Daniel Seed. He's going to be running the faceoff. Carmel struggles at the faceoff X.
They do struggle at the faceoff X, and they've thrown a lot of guys at him. And one of the guys that they're going to do, obviously, they're going to give Daniel Seed a try. Sometimes they put Matt Cannon out there with a long stick. Sometimes they do that. They also have Eric Allen available to do that. And coming off of a knee injury, Jordan Walker. Jordan Walker is an outstanding player, outstanding athlete, and outstanding young man who won the Bob Scott Award. He's number 3 for Carmel. We'll see him on the field. He's come off of a knee injury. I think he may have an impact in this game.
Also looking at that defense, Matt Cannon, James Stogelman, Jack Huntington. Stogelman's not on the screen, but he's someone to look out for. Carmel has 7 All-State players. A bunch are honorable mention, and most of their defense fit that category. They are very good defensively, which helps them make up for the struggles at the faceoff X.
Yeah, exactly. So they definitely want to play a really physical defense, and they like that. They like to challenge the guys ahead of them.
One of the leading scorers in this tournament, actually the leading scorer, with the exception of the last game we saw coming into today, is Marcus Prine, who's been very strong as of late. 9 goals, 7 assists, 16 points. He leads among these 14. He leads all players in each of those categories. He has been brilliant this postseason.
Marcus Prine is an exceptional lacrosse player, and he has been for a very long time. I got to see him play when he was in the U12 division, and he dominated nationally. He's that good of a player. He's taken a little time because of senior-heavy teams ahead of him to find his way on there, but he's finally made his presence on the field, and now he's making that presence known. He's an exceptional player.
Looking over the script to Hamilton Southeastern, great team last year. It took them a little bit to find their way here, at least getting the current seniors to step up in the big leadership void. They lost a lot of seniors last year, but they have been on fire. The Hamilton Southeastern has been for the last couple weeks or so in preparation for tonight.
Yeah, Hamilton Southeastern's story basically anchors on 2 guys offensively. And you're going to see an exceptional, unbelievable display of offense by number 10, Cam Smith, and number 9, Ryan Kemp. Ryan Kemp, as a freshman last year, just like Matt Denon before, was scored 4 goals in the championship game and was in the MVP of that game as a freshman. So those 2 offensive guys are going to be something to watch. They are exceptional players, and they are the best. Between them, they have 218 points coming into this weekend.
Here you see Hamilton Southeastern, and you're about to see the starting lineup. Big storyline for the Royals. In goal, Timmy Matthew-Dacus. He got hurt just a few weeks ago before this trip to Wisconsin. He tore his labrum in his shoulder in a morning lift session.
Yes.
And he did not play in the first playoff game. He played against Zionsville, and he's back in goal here. That is a big test for Hamilton Southeastern.
Yeah, he's had since that surgery, he's actually missed 6 games. I mean, it's not the surgery, but since he had that injury, he's missed 6 games, and he's going to have surgery once this season is over. So he's going to go in there. It's a torn labrum, which is going to limit a little bit of his movement, but really it's just going to be painful. So we're going to see if he can last. If he can last, he's actually the best save percentage goalie in this Final Four.
Looking at the top part of the starting lineup, our anticipated starters, it's hard. You already talked about him. Ryan Kemp, Cam Smith, E.J. Reichert has been mopping up, really.
Yep.
But that attack unit, one of the best in the state. Midfield, Tony Kasiri, one of the best midfielders, if not the best midfielder in the state. And Titus Splinters had a wonderful season. He was first team All-State as a long stick mid.
Yeah, and last year as a freshman, he came in. They had a suspension issue, and he had to come in to fill in last year. Did a really good job. He did a really good job there. And you were talking about Kasiri. We saw Bedic in the last game with the face-offs. Kasiri is his equal, and the only reason that we don't know which one of those two is better was because Tony Kasiri was suspended for an excessive hit a game before they played Cathedral, so they haven't seen to match up yet. So Kasiri is going to be a handful for Carmel to try and figure out how to stop those face-offs.
Looking at how they've performed so far this tournament, Carmel is averaging 17 points per game. They've given up 4. Hamilton Southeastern, 20 points per game, giving up 6. On paper, very evenly matched, at least production-wise.
It's absolutely. It's a very evenly matched game, and I'm real excited to see it go down here today because it's going to be not only evenly matched, I think it's going to be very intense as well.
So you have in black, there is the defending state champion, Hamilton Southeastern Royals, 17-4. They have not lost a game since they played Cathedral in the beginning of May. May 3rd was their last loss. Since then, they've beaten everybody, beaten Zionsville twice. And their head coach, Scott Beasley, he's done a great job building that program. He had 2 losing seasons when he first started there, but he's turned it around, and he's obviously the reigning state championship coach. Coming into his second Final Four for Carmel is Jack Meacham. He has the Greyhounds at 11-9. That sounds very unflattering, but Carmel has played a brutal schedule, traveling all over it. They could bill it as a national schedule. It's more of a regional schedule, but they've played schools from almost every state that surrounds Indiana, and they've really tested themselves, and it has prepared them well for this postseason.
Yeah, they play in a Midwest Elite. They play in like a Midwest Elite conference there, so they get extra games out of state by doing that. So, in the matchup with HSE and Cathedral, they were also missing both Tony Kasiri and Matthew Dykes, so that's interesting.
So we see in the face-off circle, it is Daniel Seed, the sophomore, number 20, in white for Carmel. The white uniforms, yellow helmets, blue shorts, and in black, it is Tony Kasiri, the excellent Fogo for Hamilton Southeastern, wears number 26, and the scrum has begun. Game 2 has begun. The face-off won temporarily by Carmel, and it will be controlled by the Greyhounds, and number 17, Gabe Quigley.
And then picked off by Titus Splinter.
So that didn't take
picked off
very
an
long.
errant pass.
Matthew Dacus, the first time, lobs it up towards Nolan Nyes. And here comes the quick-hitting offense of Hamilton Southeastern. And it is 1-0 as Tanner Williams finds the 5-hole of the goalie for Carmel, Joe Golmer.
That's an excellent play. That was a loss on the scrum there by Tony Kasiri. They ended up losing the faceoff, but because they were relentless with their wing play, Titus Splinter was able to pick off that pass, redirect it to Timmy Matthew Dykes. They cleared it up the field. They got the fast break, and then they left Tanner Williams open. And Tanner Williams, given the opportunity, that close one-on-one with the goalie, he's going to score. So we're already 1-0. I'm excited.
Williams, that is his 5th goal of the playoffs. Cam Smith, his 6th assist. That's 1-0 in a flash. Not even a half minute gone. Hamilton Southeastern, the reigning champions, taking it right at Carmel after losing the face-off for the first time. And now here comes Kasiri going to work. But it's Daniel Seed, the sophomore, and Carmel that come up with it. Racing right up the middle of the field, taking a shot. A bouncer goes high and above the goal. That was Gabe Quigley, who wasn't able to be not as accurate as he was hoping for.
No, it was not, but he was able to get out there. And Quigley doesn't usually get that start off the wing. They usually have somebody else going in there, so he's getting an opportunity there. They must have seen something in practice. It's also good to see number 3, Jordan Walker, out there.
An incredible story. Tore his ACL in the fall, had surgery on it on Halloween, and he's out here playing for the right to go to the state title for the 3rd time in 4 years for Carmel. It's been a little while since they've won one. And now on the attack, James Stiglman, number 5 for Carmel, slips right out of his stick and
good
kicked
lift
forward by Hamilton Southeastern. It looks like it's going to stay with the Greyhounds. Nick George looks to chase it down, number 13 in white.
Yeah,
still loose.
Fernandez, number 21 for Carmel, did a really good job to keep that ball from crossing the 50, because once it touches the box in the offensive zone, you can't have it come back across the 50, or that's an over and back. So they didn't get that violation and remain possession here.
Here is Walker, who we were just talking about, and now there, number 2, Tom Sprates, who is a lethal offensive player for Carmel. He's been dangerous for everyone playing against him, All-American, all everything from the midfield for Carmel.
And you got Asher Mendel with the ball. He's going on to Detroit Mercy following his brother, Seth Mendel.
He's had a wonderful season for his own right. He was second-team All-State, the attackman. Plays it back to Marcus Prine, the leading point scorer for Carmel this postseason. And here's a deliberate pace, something we saw in the first game being displayed currently by the Greyhounds, who are just poking and testing the HSC defense.
Yeah, but you'll see that you're going to see that Carmel's actually going to dodge more out of this. They really want to go at the defense, and the defense wants them to come at them. So I love this matchup.
Scooped up by Prine.
Looks like they got a illegal pickoff ball interference, so it's going to go to HSC.
We'll see. This is not the real fast break situation for Hamilton Southeastern, unless they turn it into it.
Which they do.
Here's Williams, right in front. Kemp scores! 2-0 Hamilton Southeastern.
Wow, there you go. So they were able to take a settled clear and turn it into an unsettled clear. So not Ryan Kemp. So they've got Tanner Williams down there playing attack, which I think is really interesting because he's a midfielder for them. So what they like to do is they have him in when they're playing defense, they have him play attack, and then once they come down there and settle in, bring offensive guys, they move him to the midfield. But Coach Beasley likes to do that. He likes to move some players around to try to get some mismatches, and it's a good move by them to move Tanner Williams there, and he's been able to beneficiary of Kemp and Smith down there.
That is Williams' second point of the game, first assist. As Kasiri finally wins the face-off, plays it back plays it forward. The goal for Ryan Kemp, his 9th of this postseason. Another Royal, E.J. Reichert, has 9 entering today. He wears number 3 in black. Playing it back to Blaine Wirtz, number 25.
You're going to see the very similar style on offense. They're going to try and find those matchups and go at them, like this right here.
Working towards the middle, shot well wide, deflected off the arm pad of one of the Greyhounds.
Yeah, that's Cam Smith. There is no defender that he doesn't mind going against. So if he finds a seam, he's going to go.
Very aggressive is HSC. Second opportunity. They got a shot at the last time they worked their offense. Firing underhanded was Clayton Emery.
Ooh, they counted that as the goalie closest to the ball went out. Even though Ryan Kemp may have been closer to the line, it looks like the goaltender was Golmer was actually closer to the ball. So it's going to be Carmel ball here.
There's the 2-time All-State player Jack Huntington, and he fires one and fielded on the bounce by Prine. Now Tommy Sprates. Going to IU next year. Maybe playing lacrosse, maybe not. Coach Jack Meacham is working on.
Yeah, number 4, Brendan Mudd was just down there. He was playing defense. He was open on the backside. They just didn't see him at all right there. It was too bad. He had an opportunity there to fire at the cross crease and have an open guy, but haven't seen it. So Weston Stiglman, huh? Sprates, that's a heck of a lineup right there.
Asher Mendel is also in. This is a potent offense. Nick George is on the field too. All 6 of them are dangerous unless Tommy Sprates throws it away. And a turnover for the Greyhounds and a 2-0 lead for Hamilton Southeastern. 7 minutes, 49 seconds left in this opening quarter.
In the first matchup, HSC was up, I think, 3 goals or 4 goals in the first quarter, and within a minute to go in the first quarter, Carmel tied it back up. So Carmel's never going to be out of this at the rate that they can score.
Cannon Ellsbury is pushing the tempo down the far side into the alley, circling it back out. Looking, and there he goes. Gets it to Tanner Williams with his 2 points.
The All-American Ellsbury.
And here is Cam Smith.
You know, Cam Smith's probably going to wait here, wait for help, wait for friends, and then they're going to, move it around, prod the defense a little bit, and go after him.
This is a good matchup between Smith and Jack Huntington.
Yeah, absolutely. And Huntington
See the
gets the best
footwork
of him there. Yeah, look at that. Excellent poke check. Big scrum.
Won by nobody.
I think this is where the win. I think this is ultimately where the win. These dirty plays. Who comes up with these dirty plays more often is going to be the winner of this game, I think. Because you're going to see a lot of this. These guys are going to really go at it.
The grounder. Running it down is Kemp. And deflected foul out of play.
He definitely tried to do a little cool one-handed grab there and missed it. If he had just stopped it. Yeah, he had plenty of time.
Gave it a go.
But, boy, these guys like to ride, these attackmen. That's the attack-playing defense letting them clear it. They really love to ride.
Justin Moore is pressured and a timeout on the field. We're going to take a break here. You are watching the Indiana High School Lacrosse Association semifinal on IndianaSRN.
Today's game is brought to you by Shin Technology Service Corporation. Technology is about humans and not about machines. Dave and his crew has provided 27 years of software needs. Give them a call. Shin Technology Service Corporation. You may reach him by phone at 317-545-3650 or shintechnology.com. For more information, contact Dave, 317-545-3650.
Hello, my name is Sean Kroll, and I've been a part of the IndianaSRN family for the last 9 years. Last year, we streamed a record 326 sporting events around Central Indiana. All the other guys broadcast basketball and football, but we at IndianaSRN also air volleyball, softball, baseball, and even golf. But we need your help. To continue our mission, please help us by contacting Coach at IndianaSRN.org. IndianaSRN, where you're always in the game.
Back up above high school, Keith Myers here, and with me is the Director of Officials of the Indiana Lacrosse Officials Association, John Swain. And, John, we need officials for this game.
Oh, absolutely. We are short this year. We had to put off some games because we didn't have enough guys available.
What does it take to be an official for the lacrosse, and how do they get a hold of you?
Well, we normally have training right before the season, but this year we're kind of branching out. We're going to have some training this summer and some on-field opportunities this summer as well.
And it's a great opportunity to make some extra money and get into the game, and this is a fast-moving game and a growing game in the state.
Absolutely. It's you get paid to do a little exercise, and it's a lot of fun, really.
Back up to you guys.
Thank you very much, Keith. Jonathan Mathis, Byron Stankus with you. The press box here. And speaking of the officials, who are our officials tonight?
Well, our head referee today is Terry Williams. He comes from the Culver area, along with Jeff Poto and Bill Crumbo. And then Chris Creditford is our box official, our alternate again for this game. So that's a very experienced crew right there.
James Stiglman's shot is wide. Carmel will retain possession. Wrapping around. Prine, that's wide. Not very accurate are the Greyhounds in this early going.
Well, that was a really good stick check by Nyes. Nyes had his stick in his hands, and he couldn't get that all the way around. So that was a really good defensive play.
Looking for space, Tommy Sprates, and he is tough in this situation.
Going against Ellsbury.
Firing and scoring 2-1.
So there you had a situation, All-American versus All-American. Tommy Sprates lined up against Cannon Ellsbury, didn't care. He went right at him, took to his left hand, and that was a perfect shot. The most difficult place to put that is off the off-stick hip of the goaltender. So excellent placement on that shot as the Carmel Greyhounds climbed to within one.
Tom Sprates, his 9th goal of the postseason. He is now tied with Marcus Prine for the lead for Carmel. That's 13 points on the year, and that's just a handful to handle one-on-one, especially when he's able to build up a head of steam.
Yeah, I think every one of these guys on the Carmel team is a handful one-on-one, to be honest with you.
Here back is holding his own so far, actually doing really well. Daniel Seed against Tony Kasiri.
We got a procedure call. They're going to give it to Kasiri.
So, understandable mistake in that situation for Seed. Pushing the tempo is Luke Engelman. Back to Ryan Kemp, number 9 in black.
Excellent D midi, number 11 there, Engelman.
5 minutes. 10 seconds to go here in this first quarter. Playing it around was Blaine Wirtz. He'll get it back. Swarmed over the top by Justin Moore. The short stick. Collision. Stick goes flying. And a flag comes flying as well.
Yeah. It's those sloppy plays who's going to win that's going to go. I'm not sure what the referee's calling here, but I guess they're going to call it that there was a loose ball. So looks like he's calling a 1 minute. All right. Unsportsmanlike conduct is what the signal looked like. So we'll have to see. Referee walking over, that's going to be Terry Williams. They're actually conferring again because Terry Williams seemed to be signaling that it's a hold, and Bill Crumbo seems to be calling something else. So we're going to see what happens. Not sure who that penalty on. Looks like it's on number 33 for Carmel.
Well, one of the sticks went flying, and it might have been batted out of the back of the end zone by Huntington.
Okay, so that is unsportsmanlike conduct. The stick was on the ground. He flicked it away, and they called unsportsmanlike conduct on Jack Huntington, and he's going to have to sit in there for a minute non-releasable, which means they can score as many times as they can in 1 minute here.
And that shot is well wide. Great opportunity for Hamilton Southeastern. This is the Logan Street Signs and Banners first quarter. 317-773-7200, LoganStreetSigns.com.
Yeah, HSE runs a play here where they're going to get it to behind and then cut both guys down and pop Cam Smith up top and look for Cam Smith up top and shoot it. And there it is.
And he's almost hit those girls walking on the track.
Yeah, but that's
dangerous.
Yeah, it's dangerous, especially his shot.
Here he is again, letting fly, missing wide. This one might get him. Yeah, that's close.
Oh, yeah. Well, they might have to, well, it looks like they're actually might be behind the fence, so I think we're good. But, boy, they don't like...
HSE is not messing around.
They are not.
They're not wasting any time.
They knew that's non-releasable. They want to get this goal as quick as possible and see if they can get another one in that 1 minute. They don't mind shooting.
Not at all. Here's another one. This one does find the net. Clayton Emery. His first of the game, and it's 3-1 Hamilton Southeastern.
So they have that extra man advantage. They kept moving the ball. They kept finding shooters. They were moving off ball, and they didn't mind who shot. So Clayton Emery with that goal. That's a really good bouncer, too. That's a tough one to read for a goaltender.
That assist goes to Ryan Kemp, who now adds that assist to his goal earlier. 102 points on the season, and here's that replay.
You're going to see that bounce shot. You see the turf come up. It's so hard to read on those bounce shots because it can go in any direction. So good goal there by Emery. Now we're going to see Kasiri and Seed face off again. I think Seed's doing a really good job here.
3 seconds. At the face-off, Seed has been playing very well. We were expecting him to be a big factor, or at least get the first shot at the face-off X, and he has comported himself very well to this moment. Kasiri's able to squib this one out of the way.
And then throws it himself. Yeah, good play.
Kasiri, an excellent, not just a face-off, man. He can score.
He can score. He's really scrappy. Oh, look at this play.
And this one tripped up in the circle, and they're going to give it to Carmel. Gomer flips it over to number 21, Carter Fernandez. And now we're even strength. Work across the midfield is Brannick Arbuckle.
Twin brother to Chase Arbuckle. You'll hear his name as well. So the two of them, freshman phenoms there.
And a whistle.
So it looks like we got a timeout. Yep. So that's a possession. That's both of those timeouts were possession timeouts.
You are watching the Indiana High School Lacrosse Association semifinal on IndianaSRN.
There's no greater anti-poverty measure than to give a person a job. That helps them start to change that trajectory.
Morales Group is a full-service staffing company that provides temporary labor in the Indianapolis, Central Indiana market.
It was a challenge that was given by my father. He wanted me to give back much more than I had been. Then I realized that when he said more, he wanted me to see how I could give more. And it wasn't just in money, but in time and in services. And that's how the Morales Group was created.
I started off at Morales Group as an intern. I interned for 3 years before going on full-time staff here. What I love most about Morales Group is that big family aspect. I come from a big family in Mexico, and since the company is continuously growing, I feel like there's always a new member of the family that I get to know.
We're willing to give. We're willing to serve others, and we're not expecting something in return.
Come talk to us. We would love to work with you.
Byron, every year the Lacrosse Association has a Coach of the Year, and this year, exceptional coach. And why don't we talk a little bit about that guy?
Yeah, this year the Coach of the Year went to Joe Laird up at Crown Point. He's been up there a bunch of years, but he's had a really good year. They were the 8 seed this year, so they were in the top 8. They had a home game the first round of the playoffs, so good for them. But he's been building that program in the last couple of years. They keep getting better and better. This is actually the second year where he's actually had youth players that they've been developing actually playing in the high school level. So that makes a huge difference. So that paid off for them, and congratulations to Crown Point and Joe Laird.
Eric Allen missed the first shot, fires here, misses again. They'll stay with Carmel. Nick George is there way early. Perfectly positioned.
Yeah, well, these defense is really good here because the assistant coach of the year is actually Mike O'Rourke for HSC, and you're going to see that pay off of the defense here.
George up top, Marcus Prine. He was the leader in goals for Carmel before Tom Sprates just tied him. And here is Tommy Sprates. Right into the stick of Timmy Mattheudakis. And this passes well over the head of another Royal. Scooped up by Carter Fernandez. Everyone's on side for the moment. He'll lob it back to James Stiglman. Now Carmel will wait for another offensive player to creep on, and here comes Sprates. Eric Allen, number 10. Sprates, number 2. Stiglman, number 5. Another strong offensive unit. Over the side, this number 26 is Asher Mendel. 3-1 with 2 minutes, 7 seconds to go in this opening quarter. Mostly dominated possession-wise and otherwise by HSC. We've seen another Carmel turnover.
Yeah, the turnovers are really surprising me. We had a lot of turnovers last game, and we got some turnovers early this game. It's not the clean lacrosse I'm used to for this level of play, but I think the nerves are getting to them. These are really good teams facing off against each other.
The one-hand grab tried to swim over George. The ball is loose and able to recover it is Engelman. Got a little lucky there. Friendly bounce. Caught both Greyhounds with their back to the play as they were turning to follow Engelman. And now up top is Blaine Wirtz.
Yeah, Blaine Wirtz is one of those guys that's just come on late in the season for them. You know, he's a freshman and he's getting more and more time there. So he's definitely going to be a player for years to come there, number 25 in black.
And that's something, a big positive for HSC this season. Not only are they here in the Final Four, but they have a lot of more youth on their team. Wirtz fires, saved by Golmer for now, and then having to creep in and helping him out with Jack Huntington. And this is intercepted, or at least deflected down. It's Tanner Williams. Williams shovels it over behind the cage to Cam Smith. He'll slow things down. Carter Williams will check him.
And you could see these guys definitely attacking the cage a lot more than the game we saw earlier.
Smith, the backhander.
Ooh, that was so cool.
And it stays with HSC with 50 seconds to go in this first quarter. Ryan Kemp. Pushed wide by Fernandez. Here's Wirtz.
Look at that. That's a freshman who's unafraid right there.
Mudd, and this is saved by Golmer. Right to Williams, though. HSC has been relentless in this first quarter. They've gotten the 3 goals out of it. They have 27 seconds to add a 4th.
Look at it.
In front, Kemp is saved.
Big save.
Golmer bulldozed one player down. The ball is poked away. The net is empty. One player's down. A flag's down. The HSC fans are adamant that it's against Carmel, and the referee might agree.
Yeah, that's exactly the kind of play that you're expecting here. You know, you see Golmer makes that save, comes out of the goal, people swarming, there's bodies on the ground, there's a lot of contact. So that's going to be the kind of play I think we're going to see more of, especially with 12.9 seconds left.
A phenomenal possession by Joe Golmer in goal. 3 saves on that possession. Standing on his head.
So it's a cross-check 1 minute on who? Number 17.
So that's against Gabe Quigley.
Is that Quigley?
That is Quigley.
But they're moving over like it's Carmel's ball, so that must have been the HSC cross-check.
Well, then it's on Loudon Sunderland.
Yeah, another freshman that's playing there.
But we see Tanner Williams is off on the sideline.
Oh, that makes sense.
Number 7.
That makes sense. Tanner Williams been Johnny on the spot. He was definitely in that scrum. Referee's called a cross-check. So what's going to happen here is With 12 seconds left, they might get one shot off. If
Now,
they don't get the shot
clock
off,
is running. Tom Sprates with 7 seconds. 6, he's killing time. 5, there's 4, there's 3, there's 2, and that's going to do it. So the end of the first quarter, Hamilton Southeastern leads 3-1. You're watching the Indiana High School Lacrosse Association semifinal on IndianaSRN.
Think you have what it takes to compete against the best in the country at elite level
Do you have a read?
events? Be sure to follow us on Twitter at Express Midwest.
Do you have a read?
More about
Okay.
You know, when Margaret and I decided to sell the old estate here, we had only one choice in signage. Logan Street signs and banners. Conveniently not located on Logan Street anymore, but rather located on 10th Street on the south side of Noblesville. Well, we sold the old beauty, and we were able to buy this wonderful estate. And we had so much money left over, I was able to buy this beautiful 1968 Eldorado Cadillac for Margaret. Only 472,000 miles. Margaret loves it because it's got those big seats and that heavy-duty suspension to support her svelte frame. Next time you're looking for signs or banners, call old Jim at Logan Street Signs and Banners, 773-7200. Conveniently not located on Logan Street anymore.
Welcome to the second quarter, everyone. Hamilton Southeastern leads Carmel 3-1. This second quarter is brought to you by McIntyre Imaging, where we take pictures of everything. 317-997-9570. Some stats from that first quarter. Carmel had outsaved Hamilton Southeastern 3-1. Face-offs were won by HSC 3-2, which is a closer margin than we thought it would be. HSC has outshot Carmel by 7. Carmel's committed 2 more turnovers than Hamilton Southeastern has.
Yeah, and at the end of the quarter there, we saw that there was a man-up advantage for Carmel. Carmel maintained that possession with a man-up advantage, so there will be no face-off, which is why they're starting with the ball without a face-off right here, so they can finish off their man-up with possession.
Sprates looked to wind it up, passes instead, and the ball just pops right out of the stick of Eric Allen. Chasing it down, Sprates will go to the sideline to Splinter. Chased him with him, and it will go to Hamilton Southeastern. Speaking of Hamilton Southeastern, really a dominant first quarter by Tanner Williams, who had a goal and an assist for the Royals.
Yeah, we were looking at the big 2, but Tanner Williams might make it a big 3 on this team, so good for them. You know, everyone knows that the East Coast is, more specifically Long Island, is the true barometer of all things lacrosse. Well, some exciting news is that serious Midwest Lax players, Long Island Express, the premier lacrosse club in the United States, has expanded to the Midwest, based right here in Indy. So the Midwest Express will be fielding boys, youth, and high school teams starting this fall. Committed to providing top-tier coaching, Midwest Express will employ coaches from some of the top high schools and college programs like University of Indianapolis as we go to a timeout here on the field.
And that's a great opportunity, especially both of these teams have strong youth programs as well.
Yeah, absolutely. We were talking about how Coach Laird up there at Crown Point has developed a youth program, and now that's starting to pay benefits as well.
I believe I see Keith Myers on the sideline eagerly wanting to speak to us. Is that right, Keith?
Well, I just want to let you know that I'm really glad that I'm part of the crew. Also, like to remind you that we're doing semi-state baseball next weekend. It has not been determined where we're going quite yet, but hang with us. If you like baseball, we're going to be doing a semi-state. And we'll have that information on our website. And I also want to congratulate our new member of the crew, Byron. You're doing a great job, and you're looking really good on the tube. I'm telling you, you guys, the face for radio and TV.
Face for radio. We haven't seen me on TV yet, but I did get a haircut. I don't know if anyone's going to notice that.
Hey, well,
I noticed it when
nice.
you came into the booth. And, Jonathan, you've always done a great job anyway.
Thank you, Keith.
Thank you. Thank you, Keith.
Thank you. Sideline reporting from Keith Myers. I'm Jonathan Mathis. That's Byron Stankus. To my right, you can't see him, but he's waving feverishly. Up above us are our cameramen, Teresa Coker, Riley Thomason, Grant Nelson.
So we're coming out of a timeout here that HSC had called with 11:21 to go in the second, and I think they just wanted to settle down their offense and make sure that they don't throw that away. It got a little chaotic there for a bit, so started with Cam Smith. There's nothing wrong with that.
No, he's going to work it behind the cage. This has been...
They're trying to kill off a penalty here is really what's going on.
Doing all right at it so far.
Playing shorthanded, and they just got released. So that's really what that timeout was about. To get that aforementioned Tanner Williams back on the field.
Junior Clayton Emery, hot potatoes at around the bend. Reichert, then Smith. And he has it now. Checked by Huntington. Up top, Williams with his 2 points. On the attack is
Wirtz.
The freshman Wirtz.
Whew, that kid, it's
He's
impressive.
shifty.
They do so well with such young kids. Look at that play.
Kemp just tried to spike it right down. Couldn't get enough on it. I think it's interesting. We've had 3 timeouts so far. And another goal. Oh, man.
That was Reichert. E.J. Reichert on the doorstep. What a feed. What a feed from Kemp.
This attack unit, this offense for HSC, phenomenal. And we get to see another example as Ryan Kemp gets an assist.
Yeah, he threaded the needle there.
The goal for E.J. Reichert.
But just threaded the needle on that pass. I mean, they fed it in there and it didn't work, and they kicked it back out and fed it right through again and scored. That was really impressive to watch.
So it's Seed and Kassiri and the face-off X right in the middle of that giant Burbuff B. We are live at Burbuff Jesuit High School. Thank you for joining us, IndianaSRN.
Oh, was that a Burbuff B? I thought it was a Braves B.
It's both.
Oh, there you go.
Flung further away, almost into the official, but able to corral it as Chase Arbuckle.
But look at the swarming defense. Look at those swarming wings. Titus Splinter. Look at this.
Arbuckle will play it back out to Prine.
Arbuckle did a really good job there of maintaining that possession, coming off the wing with a short stick.
Jordan Walker, the honorable mention All-State from a year ago.
Academic All-American this year.
He's going to Notre Dame next year.
He is. He was the, I mentioned before, he's the Bob Scott winner. That's an award for contributions to the game outside of your play. So he helps a lot with youth. And he was awarded for that as he takes the shot here.
And it's saved by Matthew Dacus.
Yeah, his name is Timmy is his first name. His last name is Matthew Dyke. It's all one word. So I think that's something we get to clarify on there, because a lot of people actually think his first name's Matthew.
And they would be wrong. That's actually the first part of his last name. Cam Smith. That's an easier name to remember.
Yes, it is.
Took on a little double team. Fernandez ushered him towards the turf. A little sidewinder shot wide by Kemp.
Boy, Ryan Kemp can shoot from any angle. See, earlier he tried to dunk that one. This one he tried to worm burner underneath there. Those guys are just so much fun to watch.
We get to see more of them as HSC has dominated the time of possession in this first half. Smith tiptoeing around the crease. In front, Emery misses wide.
Yeah, so the Royals keep putting pressure on here. They're not going to do what Guerin did. They're going to keep going at him.
Speaking of which, here they come.
Yeah, they don't have to beat their guy, but they just want to draw enough attention to the defense so that they can make a pass. So they can beat their guy and then look for the pass. If it's not there, they'll pull it out and redirect to the next one. And that's exactly what they've been doing here. So they'll throw, attack, throw it again. If they can find someone in the middle, great. If they can beat their guy, even better.
It's Emery. He is being checked by Brannick Arbuckle, number 7. Catches the screen, wraps around him. Arbuckle stays right with him. Good form by the defenseman.
Oof, errant pass.
Errant pass. Smith trying to run it down. Huntington
He
marking him.
He kept it in. He's staying with it. Staying with it. It's these scrappy plays that make a huge difference.
Huntington almost had it, and here's the whistle, and it's going to stay with HSC.
But see, that's how hard Cam Smith works. He's not just, he's really good at riding, but he's also a good offensive player. But in that particular case, he lost the ground ball but dove to make a check, and then the ball went out of bounds, and they got to retain the possession. So out of Huntington's stick. So excellent effort, just individual effort right there.
The freshman, Wirtz, guarded by Justin Moore, the short stick. Now around the bend, Reichert to Kemp. Kemp was described by head coach Scott Beasley. Last year, he was more of just a tennis racket. You wouldn't do much creating, just catch and shoot. And this ball squibbled around.
It's another scrappy play won by HSE.
Williams behind the cage and over the head of Cam Smith. Oof, airmailed it.
He did, but there's been a lot of these scrappy plays, and it seems that HSC has had the advantage on those. So let's see if the grit of Carmel can come out here. The Greyhounds need to show a little bit more grit in those tough plays.
7 minutes to go. Down 3, Carmel. They've scored the one goal earlier. Here's Justin Smith right up the heart of the HSC defense. Checks over to the side. Shot by Prine. Skipped in front of Matthew Dacus and skips out of play.
Wow, that was Justin Moore, the D midi, running down the middle. Why he didn't shoot is beyond me. I thought he was 6-7 yards out straight in front, and he made the extra pass. I thought he'd take that rip.
A little too humble.
Yeah.
That play.
Here comes Prine.
Dangerous. Skip one, saved by Matthew Dacus, just pushed it wide.
Well, that injury doesn't seem to be bothering him any. He seems to be moving pretty well inside the cage.
He against Zionsville, he gave up 9 goals. He saved 12 though, so 57% save percentage in that game.
Anything over 50 is good, and if you're in the 60 range, that's excellent. For here, Lacrosse. Jordan Walker.
Here he comes.
Testing his knee.
Right side has an angle, batted, angle shot, and it's saved by Matthew Dacus into the stick of HSC. The Royals going to come up with it.
Here's Ellsbury.
And there's Ellsbury. Cross midfield. Checks it down. Reichert has one, has two.
Wait. They called it. Yes, into the crease after.
5-1 turn. The goal of the game. It is his 11th for Hamilton Southeastern.
Yeah, but that's one of those plays right there as we watch. You're not allowed in the crease to protect the goalie, but as soon as the ball crosses the goal line, he's allowed that run through the crease afterwards. So I wanted to see the referees were on there. We're going to take a look at that replay. As he moves, he takes that shot in the crease. So it's already in the goal. That's a
good answer on that one.
Yeah, excellent balance. Yeah.
It was close. I wasn't sure, but it looked.
Oh, there's a tussle. You can't see it off. The splinter and Seed with a clean win.
Seed right up defense after a dive underneath 1-on-1. 5-2.
Just a clean win. Daniel Seed there with an awesome win. There. Pops that, gets it to Prine down to George, and George in front of the goal effects. Huge for it being done there at face effects by Daniel Seed.
That is George's 7th goal this season. Prine's 8th assist in the postseason among the Carmel Greyhounds, and back to the feed has been playing very well more against the Tony Curry, more than holding his own. Carmel trails by 3, needing to get another win or at least a stop. It looks like it's on the field.
It's going to be a hold.
And it's going to the...
Yeah, 3-4 goals is... I don't think this game is really of reach these teams. That face-off, we had a loose ball hold, so that's going to be awarded here to Royal.
Getting pressured by Chase Arbuckle. Play it back.
Fish bodies on deep.
Sunderland does.
Yeah, you'll see Ryan Kemp.
Sunderland from behind the cage. Reichert with 2 goals.
18. It's getting some time. It's nice to see they're into their.
There's a shot by Sunderland. 6-2 HSC. And right back and forth. Hamilton Southeastern gets one. Carmel answers. That goal for postseason.
Too. He found a seam. I did not think that he had enough of an angle, and he got just above the goal line enough to head over the top of goal at a freshman. That is a third night between him and Nyes and Wirt. So they're taking their youth and letting them step up.
They're demonstrating there.
And another procedure call. So HSC wins on procedures a couple of times.
Lead and ground ball shoveled forward, onside. Now Galt breaks it, ends up into the stick of Brendan Mudd. Be chased to the side by Michael Matheny.
And Mudman, he does all the dirty work for him. D-midi, balls, situations, just pick a really important possession here.
4.5 minutes to go.
So it's going to be a slash on number 24, Nolan Nyes, for the play there, which is 1 minute. So with 30 seconds to go, I think you're going to want to try to at least get one good take here. And if you can't get that goal within 30 seconds, then you possess it and then get the possession out of halftime. And there's
Eric Allen Sprates, the underhander.
That's
well
what they're
wide.
looking for. So with 18, I don't know. Do you try another one? I think I would. You're
Might as
down
well.
here.
You want the momentum at least.
Yeah, absolutely.
Get that third goal. Feels a little bit more confident.
They're going to run this rotation off this corner and then look for the backside.
George missed it, and this could be trouble. Walker's got to beat everyone, and he does before he's kicked down. The ball's kicked across midfield. And it'll stay with Carmel with 2 seconds, so here's your possession.
Left. Yeah, so now that Carmel's just going to hold that ball, and they're going to be awarded that keep the possession without a face-off, which is big for them. They'll have the ball no matter what out of halftime.
Coming up will be our Noblesville Trophies halftime show, 317-773-7391, noblesvilletrophies.com. And there we're going towards that halftime show. But right before that, Hamilton Southeastern, if you just look at the score, you're feeling really good for Hamilton Southeastern. You probably should. 5-goal lead. Carmel, as you've been saying, extremely dangerous, but they need to get their offensive gear.
Yeah, they do need to get their offensive gear, and I think they can if they start winning some faceoffs. Smart play here at the end of the half to possess the ball with a man up so that they don't have to have a faceoff, so that's going to give them a free possession at the beginning. But what they're definitely going to have to do here, if you're Carmel, is you're going to have to find a way to win those loose balls, whether it's off of faceoff scrums or whether it's turnovers on defense, and then you're going to have to be a little bit more efficient on offense. The defense of the Royals has stood up really well, and Timmy Matthew Dykes is definitely having a situation where he's seeing those shots the whole way in and is having a good job of it. So Carmel could score in bunches. They're not out of it, but you got to feel pretty good if you're a Royals fan.
First half stats, Carmel and HSE are even on saves with 3. HSE has dominated the face-off 6-3. They have a shots advantage 18-13, and Carmel's turned it over twice. So the stats back up HSE on the scoreboard, and we're going to head to our break. You're watching the the Indiana High School Lacrosse Association semifinals on IndianaSRN.
Burtner Electric Incorporated has been proudly serving our residential and commercial customers with quality electrical repair for over 33 years. We are fully licensed and insured in electrical wiring and electrician service packages. You'll receive a competitive assessment whether you're a homeowner or a business owner, first-time or long-time customer. We offer free estimates for any new project. Call our licensed and experienced electricians today.
Your home and office make up a big part of your world. Sometimes trying to manage it all on your own can make you feel like you have the weight of the world on your shoulders. And when the weight of the world is on your shoulders, you need a strong back or two to come to your rescue and haul your stress away. You need the College Hunks. Whether it's time to clear some space for new memories, to reinvent the room around you, or to simply pack up and move into a fresh new beginning, you can count on the Hunks to bear your burden so you don't have to. Let us move you today.
Back here at halftime with the score, Hamilton Southeastern 7, Carmel 2. Joining us now is Bruce Woofy. He is the Assistant Athletic Director at Carmel High School. And first half, really surprised Hamilton Southeastern dominating this first half.
There's no question. They're very organized. Their attack was super strong. And I know the Greyhounds can score a lot really fast. In fact, in the game of lacrosse, lots of goals are scored by good teams. Yeah. So, we're certainly not out of it, but you got to hand it to Southeastern. They had a great first half.
Let's talk about Carmel and the lacrosse. You guys was the first school to adopt it and make it your own organization. Explain that in your heart with you and Jim and Skeet with that heart of that.
Well, certainly Jimmy and I would like to take credit at somehow getting lacrosse on board, but I'll tell you what, the groundwork was done by both our boys and girls lacrosse people. They became very organized. They created bylaws and rules for themselves. Their kids follow all the academic rules, and so as it became clearer and clearer to Jimmy and I that they were two programs that deserved to be part of our athletic department, it was really an easy transition, and certainly that has continued over the 2 years. They've been part of our program. They are an integral part of our organization now, and we just really enjoy it. I think both Jimmy and I would say it's a sport we're still learning,
Yep.
but we're enjoying learning it, and looking forward to many years to come.
And you got that fan base up there that really likes it too. You had a nice little crowd in your semifinal games. And let's talk about the spring sport. The spring sport, baseball did well. Girls softball did well. Track is doing well. Carmel's very healthy in the spring.
Well, as we tell coaches when we hire them, if you think coaching at Carmel is going to be easy, you're mistaken. The expectations are very high from all stakeholders, and I know that's true in a lot of other schools, a lot of other programs, certainly. But yes, success breeds success, I think, and our programs have high expectations of themselves. Our worst critics are our own kids, and they demand a lot out of each other, and I think that's why we have some success.
And you do a great job yourself.
Take
that credit there.
Thank you very much.
Bruce, we appreciate spending some time with us. Thank you very much. We'll talk to you soon.
My pleasure. Thank you.
We'll take a break. We'll be back right after this.
Piper Group Warehouse has a strong commitment to their clients as their logistics provider. If you would like to discover how you can improve your service levels while lowering your overall cost, Piper Logistics Group can help. Call Greg Piper today at 317-396-3916. Piper Logistics Group.
Craving comfort fresh food made from scratch daily? Check out Aspen Creek Grill. Located across from Hamilton Town Center and beside the Holiday Inn, we offer family farm-raised premium Black Agnes steaks hand-cut daily, creamy pastas, salmon chicken, and fall-off-the-bone ribs. Start with our famous powwow shrimp appetizer, and don't miss our refreshing drinks. Family-friendly or a great night out with friends. Aspen Creek Grill. Aspen Creek Grill, Noblesville. Call 317-559-3300.
You're watching semifinal number 2 of the IHSLA semifinals here at Buff High School, 7-2 Hamilton Southeastern over Carmel. And with us now is Greg Gastineau, and he is one of the assistant coaches. And guys, you played really good the first half.
Yeah, we're pretty excited. We game planned pretty hard for this. The defense is what's outstanding. Cannon Ellsbury just named the outstanding player in the state of Indiana as a junior. And Mike O'Rourke is our defensive coordinator, who's just named the assistant coach of the year for Lacrosse. They've just got an excellent game plan.
I noticed there's a banner over there that says repeat Royals. A lot of people thinking you could get the job done. You got to finish the second half here. You win the second half. You play a very tough Cathedral Ball Club. Yeah,
our motto this year has been build the machine. We've had a couple kids go down, but the end game is to be state champs again. We won the title and we want to repeat.
Let's talk a little bit about the program itself. It's in a good stage, and you got young kids. You got a lot of freshmen playing tonight. That's got to be really excited. So the junior high level must be doing really well, and in the community, there's a lot of lacrosse in Hamilton County.
Yeah, Mark Barutich is really key to it. His son plays for Cathedral as a freshman, as a starter, but he does our summer Mad Cats program. Last year, the U14 team went undefeated. They went 28-0. They won the state, and they also won the Midwestern Premier League. So they've got a lot of talent. And then, just coming up through the system, we've got almost 70 kids playing lacrosse at HSE, which is phenomenal.
Yeah, it's incredible. And then the seeding of the tournament, 1 through 8 gets that first round home game. How important is it to play that game at home and carry it going to Buff this weekend?
We've got the great thing about the culture of Hamilton Southeastern is our students. Last year, the state finals was the night of graduation. It was full. Seniors came back,
wow.
Right? Because there's something special to be a Royal. And so to have a home game, get the community there. Like tonight, they had a send-off for us. They had the cheerleaders, high school cheerleaders there playing the fight song. They had a PA. The kids from the youth program held their sticks. The kids walked through it. They decorated the bus. it's just special to be a Royal.
Kind of special indeed. And thank you very much for spending some time. And if this holds up, we'll see you tomorrow night.
We hope so. Thank you.
Have a blessed day. We'll take a break. When we come back, the guys will join us, Jonathan and Byron. We'll take a break from here, and they'll be back to join you for the second half.
How does a good man become even better? By working out? Or by working his way up the corporate ladder? By changing his diet? Or by changing his style? By traveling the world? Or by staying perfectly still? For 300 years, we've helped good men become the best versions of themselves through a dedicated fraternity and by taking an oath to live a life of integrity, service, and brotherly love. Men who are as committed to each other and their families as they are to our noble cause. In the end, we don't just make men better, we make them Masons. Not just a man, a Mason.
Welcome back, everyone. Getting you set for the second half and the third quarter, brought to you by Aspen Creek Grill. Try the Pow Pow Shrimp. It's on exit 210 on I-69. I'm Jonathan Mathis. Byron Stinkus is to my right. You see that score. Hamilton Southeastern 7, Carmel 2. Byron, how does Carmel get back into this one?
Well, they need possessions, and we thought at the end of the half that they were going to get this possession, but the referees declared that ball was on the ground, so we're going to start with a face-off. So that's the first thing they need to do is possessions. And the second thing they need to do offensively, I think they need to lighten up a little bit and get out of the structure and let their kids freelance. They've got some tremendous athletes. They got some tremendous offensive scoring weapons, and I think they just need to let them go and stop being so disciplined, believe it or not. I think they need to let their players play.
We saw that face-off won by Carmel. That was not Tony Kasiri for HSE. That was Titus Splinter, who is an excellent player. He actually he's the enforcer on the HSC hockey team, and he won a state title last year with the lacrosse team and the hockey team.
Yeah, he's an exceptional athlete. We'll look at Prine getting double-teamed here.
Poked away from him, then ushered out of the way by the enforcer, Titus Splinter, then boxed out by Splinter. Still loose, still being kicked around. George is in there. Now the scrum, Mendel was. Sticks are flying around, and coming out with it's Marcus Prine, and he'll center it up top to Eric Allen. Back to Prine.
Prine might get an angle here. Up.
Pushed by Engelman.
Good recovery defensively. Good help there.
And he'll clear everything out. So less disciplined by Carmel and just turning the athletes loose.
Yeah, I mean, discipline may be the wrong word, but I think maybe get out of the structure of plays that they have and maybe just let their guys go.
Here's another ground ball.
Freelance. And win these battles right here.
They do.
That's twice they've won these little scrums, and that's going to make it go a long way. HSC won a lot of those in the first half.
Here's the soon-to-be Notre Dame Fighting Irish, Jordan Walker. On the dodge, trying to get around to Splinter. Splinter stays with him with the long stick shot by Walker. Kicked saved by Matthew Dacus. And coming out of it is Dean Constantine.
Yeah, Constantine, excellent defender. They've got a really tight defense there. They allow their long sticks to clear the ball like right here.
This is up. Fast break. Opportunity and another goal for Hamilton Southeastern. Tanner Williams.
Man, is he having a game, huh?
He is the senior showing big in this semifinal.
Boy, T. Willie with another goal.
8-2.
Boy, they are very excited on the sidelines over there. That's the exact situation that we were talking about that we wanted Carmel to see. We want Carmel to up-tempo this a little bit and let them freelance a little bit, and HSC is actually beating them at that game.
The goal for Williams, that is his third. He's got 4 assists to his credit.
16's not on the
Caleb Hamudel.
So they keep sending Daniel Seed out there. So he must be doing an adequate job that Carmel's going to not try anything crazy, like put Eric Allen or West out there, or Walker rather. There ties him up enough to make it a 50-50 ball, and they win it.
Coming out with it, Number 7 for Carmel. That's Brannick Arbuckle, but he lost it. And here's HSC with another opportunity with a 6-goal lead.
Boy, another scrappy play won by HSC.
Kemp lets it fly and misses just wide.
So now the referees declared that was, well, it didn't matter if it was a shot or a pass because that was backed up by Golmer.
Heads up play by Golmer, just making a break for it afterwards.
Yeah, but see, HSC just wants to volume shoot here. They want to keep the pace up. They want to volume shoot, and that's what they're doing. I think that same philosophy is what Carmel has to do to get back in it, and they're good enough to do it.
Here's Moore pushing the temple all the way behind the cage. George, Prine, Stiglman, Allen, and now Tommy Sprates. To accelerate by Ellsbury, cut off. Nice defense by number 5, Miles Tudor, coming over to help.
Yeah, when Carmel was playing Cathedral, they would do this with Sprates. And
nice goal by Tommy Sprates. And it's 8-3.
Good individual effort there. Splitting, going from left to his right to get that shot off. That's what they did with Carmel. They would use Sprates to generate the offense. And then either he would get that shot or kick it off to Stiglman, who had a big game that one. But this one was an excellent play. It's an individual effort, Tommy Sprates. Now you see why he's an All-American.
That is the 2nd goal of this game, his 10th of these playoffs. I need a lot more of it.
And that's no slouch on defense. I'm telling you, that All-American versus All-American matchup is just great to watch because they, tit for tat. It's like a couple of boxers just throwing jabs at each other.
Ellsbury, a junior. Sprates, senior, going to IU. Might play lacrosse there, might not. Seed had it for a moment. The ball is loose. Seed is going to be the first one there, but DeSplinter is able to slither in before he hits the turf. And the flag comes in from everywhere.
Yeah, it's raining yellow. Raining yellow on that push. So I think they're going to determine that Ty DeSplinter had that ball in his stick when he was pushed. So it's going to be man advantage for the lethal Royal offense.
Yeah, that's Jack Huntington. That's the 2nd time for the brilliant sophomore. 2-time All-State player in his young career for the Greyhounds.
Well, I think we saw what happened when you took Joe Heck, the All-American, out of the game for Guerin for 2 minutes, and 3 goals were scored by Cathedral to get them back in it. And now you take honorable mention All-State Huntington at the defense out. That's going to be a harder job here for their shorthanded defense.
Looking for an opportunity behind the cage.
And look who's open.
Here's Matheny up top. Oh. Williams wasn't able to handle it. Now there's an opportunity to kill. Here comes Carmel.
Boy, Tanner Williams was open that whole way. But look at this
Moore barrels on by Cam Smith.
Cam Smith putting effort in. We were talking about that pride in the ride when the attack, when they're playing defense and not letting the defense clear. That's one of the keys for Scott Beasley. Pride in the ride.
Well, another flag down. It's delayed, though. This one is against HSC. That's Diggleman with their free possession.
Yeah, these are important possessions. The game is different. It used to be when the flag was down, the ball was down. It was over, but as long as you maintain possession, you get to do it. This is really important. They're offsides.
And there's too many men on the field.
Here's Stiglman through all the players and it skips wide.
So they had an attackman that went offsides, and instead of having him reset to go back, they played 7 versus 6 defensively and went over. So it looked like there were too many men on the field, but in fact, it was just the guy that was offside just stayed offsides.
Yeah, well, that's if you already have a flag down, might as well just go for broke.
Right, you already got the penalty. You might as well go after it.
So it'll be Carmel ball. Mandel will flip it.
This is an important possession right here because they've got players. They've got a player advantage up here with an extra man, and they're gonna have to find some scoring here. They've got the weapons to do it. So let's see if they can crank it up here.
7:34 left in the third. 5-goal lead for HSC, the defending state champion. Cathedral is waiting the winner of this game. That championship game will be at 6 o'clock tomorrow evening. Same location. They beat Guerin Catholic 10-5, and a goal for Carmel.
That's Eric Allen. Nice play. What a situation right there where they actually got the defense to move and rotate. So Excellent play by the entire squad there. This is one they needed right now to climb back into this. If they can get a possession back here, don't count them out.
First goal of the game and the postseason for Eric Allen, his 15th goal on the season.
Yeah, he's going to follow his brother to Canisius. Go play lacrosse there.
Really? Face-off circle, it's Seed and Kasiri. These have been playing very well.
Yeah, these have been really good battles at the face-off acts. Whoever wins or loses, they've turned into real scraps, and I think that's really all Carmel wants. Turn it into a scrap. And here's it.
Squibbled away, scooped up by Engelman for HSC. Look out from behind.
He gets it over, but now he's in
front. It's loose, and a turnover, and here comes Carmel. 3-on-3 for the moment, and now Carmel will play it back.
Yeah, but you saw
over to Sprates. And he's ushered away.
Yeah, this is the chaos kind of play that I think they need to keep that tempo up. I think they need to keep this energy and keep that chaos going and kind of let the offensive players feed here.
Instead, and here's misplayed by Prine. The ground ball, though, is kicked further away. Prine able to scoop it up. Here he comes out in front. A couple men on. Dropped it back to Chase Arbuckle. And now Stiglman. James Stiglman.
Coach Tim again is an 8th grader as well with True Lacrosse. True Lacrosse Indiana is also run by Coach Jack Meacham there. So back when these guys were in 8th grade, I got to coach a bunch of them, and it's fun to watch them here as dominant varsity players.
Here's Tom Sprates. Over to Asher Mendel. Fires. Kick saved away by Matthew Dacus.
Yeah, so
it's still going.
Yes. So speaking of some of those extras, we want to just talk about Midwest Express. Everyone knows that the East Coast, specifically Long Island, is a barometer of lacrosse. But exciting news is that Midwest Lax players, Long Island Express, a premier lacrosse club in the United States, has expanded to the Midwest. And based right here in Indy, Midwest Express will be fielding youth boys high school teams starting this fall and committed to providing top-tier coaching. Midwest will employ coaches. Midwest Express will employ top-tier coaches from high school and college, including UIndy, which is where a lot of these guys get a lot of their talent. They develop it in the club team in the off seasons, and we're going to get a new good one here in the Midwest Express.
2 HSC Royals will be playing for the Greyhounds at UIndy next year. Cam Peach, to me, Matthew Dacus.
Yes.
Both. And a ton, or apparently every other player in this tournament are going to Lindenwood.
Well, you know what? It's nice to see that there's been a good pipeline from Carmel to Lindenwood starting off a couple of years ago, and it's nice to see the UIndy guys starting to pick up some top players.
Yeah. Cam Smith is going to Lindenwood, but Cam Peach, as we said, and harangued and a flag down. An opportunity, though, free possession for HSC. Working from behind the cage, wrapping around, and clobbered by Tom Sprates. And here's another flag.
That's going to be 2 men down that time.
That's unreleasable. It got
That's
to be.
That's definitely going to be 2 penalties, 2 men down, and I think one of them is going to be an excessive headshot or defensive player. That's probably going to be at least 2 minutes. So I think Sprates is going to probably go sit for a little bit longer. So one of them looked like a hold to me. I think the other one looked like either a defensive player.
There goes Jack Huntington again.
Yeah.
But this is a tough situation for Carmel. Not only are you a man down, but we're even a couple men down.
You're a couple men down.
But it's Tommy Sprates who you're losing.
Yeah, Tommy Sprates is the offensive threat. So in the defensive zone, that's not going to be as much. But losing Huntington, their honorable All-State player at defense, I think that's going to hurt them here. So it's a 2-minute head contact for Sprates. So.
Great opportunity for Hamilton Southeastern to capitalize.
Illegal body check. How much time?
So we got an illegal body check, and we got head contact.
Shot. That's wide of Gomer.
These guys are going to shoot here. They're just going to shoot from everywhere. They're going to just rip shots. It's 6-on-4 as they're playing here. They're going to just be finding these spots.
And there's a goal for Hamilton Southeastern. 9-4. Ryan Kemp again.
Boy, I hope we have a shot of that, because it looked to me like Ryan Kemp hit the post, caught it back to himself, and then threw it back in the net. And if it wasn't, it was a brilliant fake. So hopefully we get a shot at that, because that was an excellent individual effort on the extra man. So referees are going to get this face-off going here, but looks like one of those is released. So the illegal body check was released, so Sprates is still going to be sitting, serving his 2-minute non-releasable penalty. So still man advantage for the illegal body check.
And it's 2 goals for Ryan Kemp. That is his. He has 10 now in the playoffs and an assist. So he has got 12 points this postseason.
I told you those guys are
Here's
good.
a hard scrabble one. Shoveled back. Poorly scooped. That's another scrum. Players getting shoved. And we'll go to HSE. And a whistle.
Yep, I think that's going to be a
timeout.
timeout. Yeah.
Which, you know what, this gives us opportunity. We have a special report from the concession stand. Keith Myers, do you have an update on us about popcorn?
Well, popcorn, I'm a popcorn connoisseur on IndianaSRN. I always judge the popcorn. In fact, we're doing a popcorn award during the football season. And I will tell you, the Buff popcorn does not it's probably about an 8.5, Jonathan. It needs a little bit more salt, but really good butter. And the free popcorn they gave me an extra one at halftime. So both of those are gone. Jerry wanted those, but they're gone. So,
oh, wow.
8.5 for Buff's popcorn.
That's not bad. 8.5. That's just laying down the gauntlet for ones to follow, if I'm not mistaken.
And I tell you what, the competition's hot and heavy because we're looking at a trophy to give away to teams for football season. So it'd be pretty fun. Back up to you guys.
So look out, world. Buffs put it down. Speaking of and putting it down on the field, Tanner Williams, 3 goals. Ryan Kemp, 2. E.J. Reichert, he got 2 in a flurry. We haven't heard much of him since, but they haven't really needed it. We got everybody else's going.
Yeah, and I frankly expected to just see the Cam Smith, Ryan Kemp show. Ryan Kemp just showed up. Cam Smith is generating a lot of offense. But when you're getting offense from Reichert and Williams with that kind of level, and having guys like Blaine Wirtz really generate offense, even though he's not on the score sheet per se, he's actually attacking that defense real well and making the ball move. That's really good. So I think this was a really good timeout by Beasley because I think they had to settle them down. They have a man advantage, and they didn't want to give that away.
You want to capitalize here. 4 minutes, 11 seconds to go, and this one is well wide of Goldmer.
And they know this is a non-releasable penalty, so they're going to shoot. And just, keep finding guys to let that rip.
Behind the cage is Kemp. The play to the side, wrapping around a shot, and this is off of a Greyhound. And coming out of it is Justin Moore. And now he's got a double team on him.
Yeah, but look at that ride. But those attackmen just keep going. And there's a flag down. Looks like that's going to be a slash on.
Matt Cannon gets it across midfield. And here on a breakaway, James Stiggleman. Shot. No. Saved by Matthew Dacus, but here comes that flag.
Yeah, but, man, that's the kind of play that Carmel needs right now. They need that up-tempo play. They need to generate something every time they get the ball right away. They need to get down there, get a shot off, and either score or back that thing up and then use that time. I think every time they come down and slow it down, I think they're killing themselves. I think they keep that pace up.
Carmel, man up. Tom Sprates is back in. Cam Smith is out.
Yeah, Cam Smith's out. He's not going to hurt them defensively, but it was an aggressive ride. Got a little slash happy with his stick there. So, as a coach, you don't mind that. You're up and you're riding hard, and that's a foul of commission.
It's a little bit easier to slash a team that you don't really like.
Yeah, it's a good thing they all wear helmets.
Prine looking to deliver for Carmel. Shot saved by Matthew Dacus.
And that's a really good save because Prine had an open alley and he bounce shot it, and it's a great save. And now DeSplinter's coming down. He's trying to look for help.
And he doesn't have any. He's swarmed by Greyhounds, swatted away by Tom Sprates. And he gets by Ellsbury. Now play it out, looking for space. We got about 30 seconds left. Here's a shot, and that one's wide.
Yeah, see, that was a good play here. He pulled it out as if he was going to slow down and then realized the defense collapsed, and then he went at it. So that's the kind of stuff I think they need to take advantage of here.
Inside 3 minutes to go here in this third quarter. Carmel trailing HSC by 5.
Carmel still has a man advantage here.
Mendel behind. Up front, George. Stepping right in front of it was an HSC defender who then tripped and fell. Scooped up by George. Now it's Mendel. Mendel winds up. Sidewinder. Goal for Carmel. And the deficit is trimmed back down to 4.
Yeah, that was a really good play. That's the intensity that we want to see from Carmel right there. They're moving the ball hard. They're moving hard. They're finding guys, and then they're getting extra hard shots off there. So Mendel with an excellent hard, low shot. That's the kind of shot we haven't seen yet. We've seen the high shots right to Kimmy Matthew-Dykes, and then we've seen the bounce shots that he's been snarfed up. But in this particular case, he's got that one hard, low, and stayed down there.
Mendel, that's his first goal of the game. That is the first assist for Nick George. He now has 2 points in this contest. Hamilton Southeastern leads 9-5.
And back to the face-off. Let's see how this scrum works out.
2:30 to go. Kicked far down, and coming towards it is Carter Fernandez. We see Kasiri went tumbling, and another whistle.
Yeah, that's a loose ball push. I think Kasiri felt someone on his back and decided to jump. Sometimes good acting will win you the ball.
And here's Kemp with the ball.
Look
off by Moore.
But look at the energy he's playing with, right? He's just like keeps moving.
Down the alley and playing it back out.
Really like the intensity here.
Top high one for Wirtz. I got to say his name in a little while. He's had a good, strong game.
Yep.
He's being checked by Mudd.
Yeah, Wirtz and Mudd's a good matchup. I like
Similar
to see
sized?
This. Similar sized, and Wirtz the freshman and Mudd with the experience. So let's see. But see what he did here. He inverted the short stick. So he's taking him out of his comfort zone and then trying to attack from behind the goal. Usually the short stick middies want to defend in front of the goal. So this is going to make an uncomfortable situation for Brandon Mudd.
Veteran play by Wirtz.
Yeah. And that's another one of those situations where this is a system that they run at HSE where they invert guys quite frequently. So they allow all their guys to do that, which also puts Cam Smith up top.
Here's Wirtz with a lane. Fires it high, and it's deflected right down and then golfed over the goal. Ran down is Huntington, and he did win the race.
Yeah, good defense there. The defense by Carmel had collapsed tight. They knew where their guys were, but they stayed tight so that they could help out. That was excellent defense by them to create that opportunity. And now here they come with a little pace.
60 seconds left in this third quarter. HSC 4-goal lead. They've been able to keep Carmel at bay. That's about as close as Carmel's been able to get. And Moore is cut off by DeSplinter. And here's a whistle and a timeout.
Timeout. Well, that timeout's going to let me have the opportunity to talk about Empire Lacrosse.
Oh, please do.
Empire Lacrosse Sports established in 2004. Their mission is to be recognized as the leader in the industry by offering excellent service, competitive pricing, and exceptional playing opportunities. From individual sales to team outfitting, leagues, and tournaments, Empire Lacrosse has everything you need to look good, feel good, and play great. So visit them at 9700 Lakeshore Drive East. That's actually behind where the Smart Car dealership used to be off of 96th Street.
I don't know where that's at.
Yeah, exactly. And they're in Suite B there. Can't miss their sign. Or you can go to EmpireLax.com. So go see them. Go see Chris Bergeau and Dean Schultz over there managing, and they'll get you set up for everything you need. So if you need equipment to go to Empire Lacrosse and you need another playing opportunity, we're bringing in the Midwest Express.
You just say that Byron sent you. Now, you don't get a discount for it, but that would be nice.
You don't get a discount. Actually, little known fact is Byron Stankus actually opened Empire Lacrosse and Sports. I used to own it, and Chris Bergeau was my manager, and sold him the company, and then sold him the whole company when I was done. So there you go.
Tomorrow at 3 o'clock, as we are in promotion mode, is the East-West Showcase game. That's going to be right here. It's going to be our lead-in for the championship game.
Yeah, the East-West Showcase is a unique thing we do here. It's not an all-star game. What it is it gives every team in the state an opportunity to send a player. And sometimes they send their best player. Sometimes they send young, up-and-coming players. So you're going to see a lot of players from a lot of schools, and it's going to be really fun to watch.
We'll have a lot of fun breaking down that game. A little bit low pressure before we get ready for the championship game at 6 o'clock. Cathedral's there. And then who will join them? We have 31 seconds left in this one. We got another quarter to play. Carmel trailing by 4. Stiglman works it around the bend. And here's Allen. Beats his man. Trying to break down the HSC defense. 16 seconds to go. Working inside. Shot. That bounces well wide. It will stay with Carmel, but they have 8 2/10 seconds to do something with it.
Yeah, they're gonna fire this into the crease somewhere. Marcus Prine in the middle is trying to direct traffic. He wants everyone to come right at him. So let's see what happens here.
And
referees have stalled.
Hold on, everybody.
Let's see what has happened here. The referees are making calls. They're just trying to get everybody on the same page. We're probably going to get a call up here to adjust the clock, is what I'm guessing.
Apparently it says 6 7/10.
Yeah. So
and now it's 10 minutes. That's not right. It's actually going to be like 10 seconds. No, it's 8.2.
8.2. That sounds about right. I think they started. I think they started running before the whistle blew.
Understandable. And here we go. George 5, George 4, George with 3 in front, wide of Stiglman, and with no time left, that will end the third quarter. About where we started the third. Hamilton Southeastern leads 9-5. 1 quarter left to decide who goes to the championship. You're watching Indiana High School Lacrosse Association semifinals on Indiana SRN.
Today's games brought to you by Shin Technology Service Corporation. Technology is about humans and not about machines. Dave and his crew has provided 27 years of software needs. Give them a call. Shin Technology Service Corporation. You may reach him by phone at 317-545-3650 or shintechnology.com. For more information, contact Dave, 317-545-3650.
Hello, my name is Sean Kroll, and I've been a part of the IndianaSRN family for the last 9 years. Last year, we streamed a record 326 sporting events around Central Indiana. All the other guys broadcast basketball and football, but we at IndianaSRN also air volleyball, softball, baseball, and even golf. But we need your help. To continue our mission, please help us by contacting Coach at IndianaSRN.org. IndianaSRN, where you're always in the game.
Welcome back at Buff High School as we head to the fourth quarter. Don't forget, IndianaSRN is your home for the baseball state semi-state next weekend. Check out our website next week, and we'll make it very clear where we're going. Have an opportunity to do semi-state, and I think, Jonathan, you're doing one of the games.
Oh, excellent. That's wonderful news. I'm excited. Are you excited, Keith? You got a great view down there on the sideline.
I love baseball, but I'm beginning to like lacrosse a little bit more. I love the contact of this game.
Anyway, here comes pushing up the far side of the field. Looking at the quick stats, Carmel is HSC. Timmy Matthew Dock is 7 saves to Carmel's 3, and the face-offs tied at 8, which is surprising.
Yeah, and that last face-off was actually won by Tony Cassiri, but the wing play of Carmel is really where the advantage is. They were relentless, and they got it, and then give Sprates an opportunity.
He's been aggressive. Shots are now even after that one, but
look at
22-22.
I don't know if you saw that, but 22 there, and Ellsbury and Sprates shaking each other's hands after that play. So
nice.
It's some healthy rivalry there.
George tried to go under, and on the rebound, no. Prine, maybe he'll give it a shot.
And we're starting to see that freelance offense.
Stumbling, losing it, and it's in the possession of HSC for the moment. But able to slip away was Ellsbury. He had to go to the one-handed cradle with the big stick just to get out of the way. And here's to Splinter with his speed. Cross midfield, clearing it successfully. Now we'll pull it up. 4-goal lead for the defending state champions. Tanner Williams, he's had a brilliant game. Here's the 7-on-7 matchup.
There you go.
That's an inside joke for anybody who's listening to the first game. Thank you for doing so, listening to both. Wirtz.
Trying to decide here if there's a little less urgency going forward here, or if they're just kind of settling to find their matchup.
Maybe a little bit of both.
Well, they like this matchup with Wirtz versus whoever the short stick is.
It's Arbuckle. Chase Arbuckle.
Yeah, so in this case it's Arbuckle. Last time it was Mudd, so they think he can beat whoever's in front of him. and then force the rotation, which is almost what happened there.
Ooh, that almost did. Arbuckle staying pretty close, though Wirtz looked like he had an edge. A little hesitation. Flips it up top. There's Cam Smith. Blazing by, trying to find the edge himself, and still pushed wide by Mudd.
Mismatch.
And here he comes, scooping
Cross-hander.
and missing wide, and Reichert will be there first.
Yeah, that was Cam Smith loves that backhand crosshand shot. Very difficult for a goalie to read. If he put it on goal, I think that goes in, so he just went wide. We saw that Wirtz-Arbuckle matchup, and that was freshman versus freshman, so that was kind of fun to watch. And now we're going to see turnover here. Comes back to Carmel.
9 minutes, 20 seconds left in one of these two teams' season. The winner gets Cathedral tomorrow night at 6. Right here in IndianaSRN, and a whistle.
Yeah, so you only have 10 seconds to get, you have 20 seconds to get it across. You got 20 seconds to get it across the midfield, and it looks like that 20 seconds wasn't going to happen, so they called that timeout.
You're watching the Indiana High School Lacrosse Association semifinal on IndianaSRN.
There's no greater anti-poverty measure than to give a person a job. That helps them start to change that trajectory.
Morales Group is a full-service staffing company that provides temporary labor in the Indianapolis, Central Indiana market.
It was a challenge that was given by my father. He wanted me to give back much more than I had been. Then I realized that when he said more, he wanted me to see how I could give more. And it wasn't just in money, but in time and in services. And that's how the Morales Group was created.
I started off at Morales Group as an intern. I interned for 3 years before going on full-time staff here. What I love most about Morales Group is that big family aspect. I come from a big family in Mexico, and since the company is continuously growing, I feel like there's always a new member of the family that I get to know.
We're willing to give. We're willing to serve others, and we're not expecting something in return.
Come talk to us. We would love to work with you.
Welcome back, everyone. Fourth quarter, 9 minutes, 9 seconds to go. Hamilton Southeastern has maintained that 4-goal lead for most of this game. Carmel has been able to chip away, but then right when they do, it seems like HSC has an answer. And here comes Justin Moore looking to cut into that a little bit further, playing it back to James Stiglman.
Yeah, I'd like to see more urgency. I've been saying this the entire half here, but they're trying to get the exact personnel on the field. Carmel is, and they're trying to get up the exact matchups. And I think they have to play with a little more urgency here if they want to get back. They're going to run out of time. They're capable of doing it, but they're going to have to play with a little more intensity here, a little more fire.
Obviously, the benefit of having everybody on the field is you have everybody on the field. The negative is that the defense can then get everyone on the field.
Correct, but even more than that, standing around is killing time right now, and time is not in their favor.
Here's Sprates, the All-American matchup. Sprates gets the edge on Ellsbury that time, and Ellsbury is able to recover well, forcing Carmel to swing it. Eric Allen has a little window, shoots at Matthew Dacus, and Matthew Dacus saves it. Right back to Allen, though, looking for a seam. Plays it back to Stiglman. 8 minutes to go.
I was expected to hear more from Stiglman here. He had a big game a couple of weeks ago against Cathedral and feeling his oats, and now going to go back to Allen, huh?
Here is Stiglman. Plays it over to Prine. Swings it around, stumbling in behind the cage, George.
So the question was, he was pushed in. The question is whether he went in his own accord or he was pushed. In that case, the referee says he was pushed in the crease. It'll stay Carmel ball.
It'll be George retreating all the way to the corner. Pushed wide by Constantine.
The individual defense here by good save.
Nice save by Matthew Dacus.
Yeah, the individual defense here by HSE has been really good. A testament to Assistant Coach of the Year Mike O'Rourke there for HSE. Really stepped that defense up.
Here's Ellsbury, the telegraph pass all the way over to the far side. To Williams. Here's Cam Smith. Huntington checking him. Not very well. Smith was able to elude him, but Fernandez cuts him off, and 2 long sticks poke him away.
Or just Cam Smith and Ryan Kemp. Those two guys, they just got a motor. They got another gear the other guys don't have. It's really fun to watch.
Here's Emery. Reichert, he has 2 goals, and he shoots this one wide.
Oof. Yeah, but there's a lot of movement off ball. Those guys keep moving and finding open spots, and they keep looking for each other. I tell you that HSC's not satisfied with the score.
Williams. Nice recovery by Sprates. Here's Emery. Behind, the flag is up. And 2 players leveled by number 17 at Carmel, Gabe Quigley.
Yeah, it's going to be a slash right there. I saw the signal there. So 21 Carmel's slash. That's going to be
Fernandez.
Carter Fernandez. So I think that's a function of the Hamilton Southeastern guys are just running ragged around. They can't get a clean lineup with the body, so they're using their sticks to try and make the plays, and they're getting some slashes here. So
6 minutes, 20 seconds left in the game. See Fernandez, one of the defensive regulars for Carmel, off to the side. So have to make do with some excellent players in his place. Matt Cannon, number 24.
33.
Jack Huntington.
Jack Huntington. Huntington at that break there had his hands on his hips, so I think he's wearing down a little bit.
Here's Smith. A little hot potato between the HSC Royals. Here's Kemp, side shot, and that's pushed wide. Trying to chase it down is Justin Moore, and he's sandwiched between 2 players, and it will stay with HSC.
Yeah, carried out of Moore's stick out of bounds, so HSC will keep that.
Smith.
Just looking for someone to feed.
That is high from Matheny and out of play, and that will go to Carmel. Well, Byron, Carmel, they got to start making it happen with 5 minutes, 45 seconds to go.
Well, they did the first thing, is not let them score on that man up. And then
turned it over immediately. Tanner Williams, fast break opportunity here for HSC, and then that's a wild throw. And coming up game is Cam Smith.
Cam Smith's going to, looks like it's a calf, so it looks like he's just stretching that out. Might be just dehydrated or getting a cramp.
About 12 seconds left in that man up for HSC. Carmel trying to kill it. Carter Fernandez will soon be emerging back onto the field. Here's Walker. Tom Sprates. And now it is even strength for both teams. Sprates and Ellsbury. A shot from Sprates, and that's wide.
Yeah, anytime Ellsbury can force him to go sideways like that instead of get to the middle of the field, either run him down the alley or don't let him shoot until he gets past the middle of the field is good for him.
Nice move by George. The wraparound shot. And that's just off the post.
Just off the post. That's the kind of play they need. Ooh, and it was backed up. And the shot was backed up by HSC, so they're going to get the ball here.
4:55 to go.
Oof, that was a dagger. Great, you get a great offensive opportunity, and then you don't back up the shot. Marcus Prine riding hard here, but boy, that's tough.
And Ellsbury is able to clear it. Now right inside, and here's the danger opportunity, and that one just out of reach of Kemp. Scooped up by Gomer.
Ooh.
Gomer collides with an HSC player, and Walker loses it. Reichert had it for a second, still loose on the floor. Cam Smith is still a little hobbled. Here comes Walker. Repaired ACL and all, right side. Through the alley, looks to cut it back towards the middle, fires well wide.
Yeah, that looked like an impatient play. I know he wants to push that play, but you got 5 or 6 HSC players back, and he's already ran down the field, outran his own teammates. And then
coming up with his HSC.
HSC gets it again.
And here's on a little fast break. Lobbing inside, Reichert, dangerous shot, nice save by Gomer.
Wow, excellent save by Gomer. He is keeping them in this here. Because HSC just keeps firing the ball, and he keeps stepping up, and even in the last time, he came out of the goal to go get the ball.
4 minutes to go. Cathedral awaits. HSC leads by 4. Here's Smith. Nice move to get around one man. Winds up, fires, and that one's well wide. Gomer trying to win the race.
I think he did. Oh. Ooh, depends on the referee. The referee closest to the line called it to black.
And Cam Smith is still down.
Yeah, Cam Smith. I'm hoping that's just cramps. because he was stretching that out before, but he just threw his entire body into that shot and then landed on the ground. You see he has a knee brace there, and he tweaked that earlier, so let's hope that's just not an aggravating. But the way he's rolling around on the field, this might be a little bit more than that. But if you look around on the field, you'll see the sportsmanship of the Carmel players taking a knee. Everybody a prayer to make sure it's all right.
There's the HSC sideline.
HSC sideline.
Trying to keep everyone just engaged and uplifted.
Now, you can't see it, but the trainers here are just stretching out those calves. So from my perspective, this looks like a dehydration, perhaps cramping situation. So that's good news.
That did seem pretty, at least earlier, the way he was trying to stretch it out himself.
Exactly. So I think this is going to be probably get him to the sideline, get him some water, and then
there he is getting up. You can see that on your screen.
There he goes. Yeah. So
he's up a stick and he's going to limp off. So
but where did all the Carmel players go?
They got a free timeout.
Well, in those situations, they're not allowed to leave the field. So actually, what I did see, they went to the sideline. They did not leave the field to play, but they did talk to their coaches. So they're going to hopefully come up with a plan and get the ball back.
Smith with the trainer.
Yeah. That's a heroic limp, though, isn't it?
It is. That's an impressive limp.
That's a guy who's giving it his all and limping off the field. That's not a guy who's injured. And I think that's kind of a cool look to see a guy like that walk off the field in that way.
Here's a shot, and that is pushed wide.
Okay, but did you see what they did there? They double teamed with the goalie and left the goal open. And so now they're going to go double team and have the goalie go cover somebody else. So the goal is wide open.
And that goalie is Nick Tamalia, number 32.
Right, so they like him as a defender a little bit better than in there. And then they do win the ball here. So they've got the ball up by Justin Moore.
Quickly up, mud, and a whistle, and it's going to be against Carmel, judging by the reaction.
Yeah, it's going to be Carmel for an illegal pick behind the play, illegal screen. They can't have those little mistakes.
Not this late, especially. 3 minutes, 22 seconds left. Wirtz able to elude Moore. Winds up, fires, saved by Tamalia. Tamalia is out running.
So a little bit of a goalie shift, maybe to give them a change of possession, get a little energy coming down the field.
Mudd treats around the alley, flips it back, and that's out of the reach of George. He just lost track of it, and now HSC able to clear it for the moment.
And they do. Well, they got to get in the box. They got to get in the box, otherwise they're going to run out of time. When you cross midfield line, you've only got 10 seconds to get in the box, which they just did.
The shot, Tamalia was able to poke it down, and it's going to Carmel, or unless it was a timeout called.
So I'm looking at the referees here. The referees are going to hold that ball. I don't think it was a timeout HSC because there was a shot.
2 minutes, 40 seconds to go.
So they are awarding it to HSC. But let's see what they have to say here. We're getting a report coming. Oh, there was a flag behind the play.
That penalty is on Carmel, number 33, Jack.
Oh, that's on Jack Huntington again.
Necessary roughness, 1 minute penalty.
Wow,
that's a big penalty.
That is a big penalty, and you're right. Huntington again. I did not see that happen at all, so it must have been something away from the ball to call that.
2:40 left. 4-goal lead all quarter long. Matheny with HSC almost has it poked away by Matt Cannon.
Matt Cannon.
This one's misplayed, and it's a turnover.
Matt Cannon, what a great name, right? That's a lacrosse name. I think Cannon, Ellsbury, Matt Cannon.
I think the Cannons are very impressively named here.
Yes.
And here's Justin Moore. 2 minutes, 22 seconds left in the game. Carmel needs 4. Here's Moore. Right up the right side. Looks to play it back towards Tom Sprates. No goals scored at all this quarter.
That's an interesting stat.
Thank you. Very interesting stat.
Thank you, Coach Kinney. And it's not for lack of effort. These two teams are both going at it, and here's Cam Smith with the ball. So glad to see he's good.
2 minutes to go.
Not sure how much water he got. So with 2 minutes to go, they're going to have to get in the box and stay in the box. But there's a timeout by HSC.
Timeout, Hamilton Southeastern.
So Hamilton Southeastern is going to call this timeout and just remind their guys they got to stay in the box for the last 2 minutes, or 1:56.
So you were saying earlier at the half how, you look at Carmel and how great their offense is, and we're looking at Carmel right now. but it hasn't shown up yet.
It is not. It is not. It seemed to me that that they were holding back a little bit. I want to see them up tempo and push it a little bit more, and they seem to be sitting back and sort of trying to rely on one or two guys to create it instead of just let whoever's open make the play happen. So Hamilton Southeastern is man up here with 16 seconds left after the Huntington penalty still left, and they're going to try to keep this in the offensive zone for the rest of the game if they can. But
and then on to tomorrow if they're able to do so. We see some of the Carmel fans.
Looks like
are heading out. The HSC fans ready to celebrate, but there's still 1:57 to go.
When you
need a lot though.
When you graduate 13 seniors and 11 of them see significant minutes, and then come back the next year and make it to the championship game the way Scott Beasley has, he is moving things in the right direction there. So that's impressive what they were done. I personally thought they were going to take a little bit more of a step back because they relied so heavily on those seniors. And you know what? They found they've got 3 freshmen playing in this game significant minutes, and young sophomores that are contributing.
Riker, Kemp, both sophomores, and attackmen.
Yeah. So I mean, and they've got some future to look forward to. And as the goaltender was injured for a little bit, but that gave some of their young goalies some time. So moving forward next year, they're going to have a goalie who has varsity experience. So good for them. And there's that double team with the goalie.
And here is Cam Smith.
And Ryan Kemp.
He's one of those sophomores we were mentioning. A.J. Reichert is another one thrown into the crowd of Greyhounds, scooped up by Kemp, and that's kind of how this game has gone. Here's Cam Smith looking. Oof. And that one just wide. That would have been.
I think that was saved off the goalie because he caught that high and then shot that low, and I think it hit the goalie's foot there. That was impressive.
And around the back, getting it to Tanner Williams. A great game he's had.
Yeah, he's had
Sides up by
game.
Tamalia. Shot, and that one misses. And it will stay with HSC with $1:14 left.
Yeah, the shooting in the empty goal here is not a penalty, right? I mean, if you can get the goal, great. If you can't get the goal, then back it up.
And this one is also wide. Mudd chased it down, but Kemp has it. Ryan Kemp.
So as long as they keep in the box here and keep going, Carmel's doing anything they can to get this ball back.
60 seconds to go.
Comes the double
front.
team.
Williams scores again. 10-5. HSC leads. Tanner Williams, possibly a capper on a brilliant game for number 7 for Hamilton Southeastern. A senior going out on top, at least in this.
Yeah,
in the semifinal.
exactly. T. Willie, they like to call him. He's one of those guys who's been a sort of a middle-of-the-range player, role player for him. This is his senior season. He knows what's on the line. He's been down this road before, and he wants to step up and make his senior season memorable. So huge play to him.
2 assists for Ryan Kemp, 4 goals for Tanner Williams. Another face-off opportunity. It is Kassiri and Seed. Their battle has been fantastic this whole game.
Yep.
But it's really been, it seemed like, Byron, that all the loose ball opportunities, everything bounced HSC's way.
Yeah, HSC. They won the scrappy little battles that were out there. We know it's a rivalry game, and you're going to get those unclean plays, and it's, I think, the team that just digs in. It's sort of like rebounding in basketball. The team that rebounds gets those dirty plays. They're going to be the one that comes out on top, and it looks like that's what's happened there. Look at this.
Had it for a second, and there you go. It rolled, player leveled.
Yeah, but creating another scrappy play here, right?
And it around, shoveling under, and a score quickly by Carmel. There's 37 9/10. The margin is back to 4.
So was that Chase Arbuckle?
I think it was Arbuckle. It was
wow,
Chase Arbuckle.
So another freshman comes up. So Chase Arbuckle.
That for Arbuckle is his first of the game, his first of this postseason. And now 37 9/10. A lot of pressure on the sophomore Fogo. Daniel Seed, if he can get some here.
Yeah, that's
maybe. But that's what it's going to have to come down to.
Oh, I mean, just, a miracle right here.
And jumping quickly was Kassiri. So here's an opportunity for Carmel.
Yeah, so it's not a terrible play by Kassiri, but,
Here's Sprates.
Sprates is going to go.
For the wraparound, the double team comes. He barely keeps his balance. 29 seconds left. Make that 26. 5. Sprates has a window. Sprates shoots and is way over the top of the goal and out of play with 21 and 1/10 seconds to go. 4-goal lead for Hamilton Southeastern.
Watching that play, you see how shifty Sprates can be, and as big a guy as he is, that's why he's such a good player.
Prine sidewinders, knocked down by one of the HSC players. 9 seconds left. Prine looking inside. He doesn't have much of a play. There's 4. There's 3. HSC's ready to celebrate, and they can. They're going to the championship game tomorrow night.
Back-to-back championship games for the Hamilton Southeastern Royals. Congratulations to them.
They are victorious 10-6 over Carmel, defeating their arch rival, and now they have a date with Cathedral, and this is something you were talking about earlier, is we get the matchup of the 2 best face-off men in the state.
Yeah, that's going to be a huge battle tomorrow. I mean, first off, congratulations to Carmel to make it to another Final Four. That's a big deal, and having gone to as many as they have, I know they didn't want to go out this way, but they played a solid game here. But I think the energy went to Hamilton Southeastern, and congratulations to them moving on to the championship. And you're right, we're going to see 2 good goaltenders, 2 good defenses, 2 good offenses, and an excellent battle about the best player in the face-off X, whether it's Kasiri or Bedic. Bedic actually won the first-team All-State. Kasiri was second-team All-State, but there's plenty of people that argue that it could be the other way around. So it's going to be a great battle tomorrow night.
There's Timmy Matthew-Dacus, who had a brilliant game in goal for HSC. Final statistics: saves. Matthew-Dacus 11-6 for Carmel. Face-offs won 9 Carmel out one more, which was a surprise. They 10-9, and if you said that was going to happen before the game, you'd think Carmel would be the one coming out of this.
Absolutely.
But HSC resilient nevertheless. They outshot Carmel 32-30. In turnovers, HSC had 1 more than Carmel did.
But that HSC defense, what they like to do is they don't want to force the extra pass. They let Timmy see it all the way in, and they stay with it. And I think that's a good defensive strategy. And moving forward, we're going to see how that plays against Carmel.
If you look at Carmel, this is, for most teams in the state, this would be an achievement. If you look at it from Garen's perspective, who lost the first game, great season of their career for Carmel. This is a gigantic letdown. Second year in a row not making the final. And even though, as you said earlier, it really isn't, because you had to beat a bunch of teams to be able to get to this point.
Yeah, I don't know that it's a tremendous letdown, but they had built a tradition there, and they got to get back to that championship game. They're graduating out a lot of seniors at Carmel, so we're going to see how much depth that they've got. Losing guys like Sprates is going to make a huge difference. But you could see, like Hamilton Southeastern, they use their young guns, and they use them well. So there's definitely hope. So real excited about the game coming up tomorrow.
So let's look at tomorrow's game. You have the last 3 state championships are represented by these 2 teams. Cathedral won 16 and 17. Hamilton Southeastern 18. Where does tomorrow's game hedge between these 2?
I would have to say before this game that I would have given it to Cathedral. I would give Cathedral the edge. I think they're a more complete team from top to bottom. But when you look at guys like Tanner Williams stepping up and E.J. Reichert's stepping up, I think that sort of balances the equation. And to be honest with you, I think it could go either way. I know it was a 10-6 win in the regular season in favor of the Irish. But also remember, Timmy Matthew-Dacus was out for that with a torn labrum, and Tony Kasiri at the faceoff X was not there either. So I think those 2 can level the field, and then having an offense that has more shooters there, I think is something that's really going to balance this game out. So I look for a really good, well-coached, hard-fought, disciplined game that is going to be a little bit more up-tempo, and I'm looking forward to that.
So you have that at 6 o'clock. The number 1 seeded Cathedral Fighting Irish, they will enter at 19-2. The number 3 seeded Hamilton Southeastern Royals, they'll enter at 18-4. That's at 6. At 3, our little preview. Don't miss it, the East and West Showcase game.
Yeah, the East-West Showcase. Again, you're going to see all kinds of lacrosse. You're going to have kids that are very new to the game, going out against guys that are going to probably go play in college, and it's going to be a mixed match on the field, but every school is in the state that has a lacrosse program is going to be represented, so we're very excited to see that.
So we'll have that for you at 3, and then we'll get you set for the state final. The finals today. Cathedral defeats Garin Catholic 10-5 in a game much closer than that score. Hamilton Southeastern takes down Carmel 10-6 in a game that pretty much is represented by that score, and each will face each other. Hamilton Southeastern and Cathedral tomorrow at 6 o'clock. We hope to have you there. We hope to have you at 3. We hope that you'll join us for both. And that will do it for us, everyone. On behalf of everybody here at IndianaSRN, I want to thank our crew on the cameras. Riley Thomason, he's done a great work for us this whole season. Teresa Coker and Grant Nelson have joined him up top working those cameras. Doing the statistics with Steve Kinney. He's done a great job. On the sideline was Keith Myers. A wonderful job by him. Big thanks, MVP of the broadcast, Jerry Collins, the producer, did a fantastic job. Analyst Byron Stankus. Byron, fantastic job. We'll just do it again tomorrow.
Hey, you know what? Let's do it again. I had a good time.
Excellent. I'm Jonathan Mathis signing out from Brebeuf Jesuit High School. Thank you for joining us. The winners today, Cathedral and Hamilton Southeastern. We'll see them and you tomorrow at 6 o'clock. You have been watching the Indiana High School Lacrosse Association semifinals on IndianaSRN, where you're always in the game.